A lot of disinformation out there currently about how we are supposed to eat. And I'm going to make some recommendations in this video. I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story too. I was once very sick and very toxic from acidic forming food that I had been conditioned and programmed to consume all of my life. Processed, packaged, radiated, microwave, genetically modified food, these all lower our vibrations. Well, I did not fully awaken until I awoke to the fact of what fueled my cells, the trillion of cells in my electric body, and that is live vibrational amino acids. Everything else that's currently being shared regarding how to properly consume foods that are required for cell energy, this is disinformation. If we are not consuming raw, live, vibrational enzymes, more than likely there's going to be an issue within the body. There's going to be a malnourishment issue. There's going to be inflammation. See, to heal the body, we've got to rid this overgrowth of fungal parasitic condition. This is a parasitic condition. It's probably going to make you tune this video out after a few minutes when I start reading some information to you, because you are programmed to tune divine information out, because that is what the parasites do. They want to keep you going back to this low vibratory food. The cooked food, the processed foods, the packaged foods, the meat. And I am going to dispel some divine energy in this video because I really want this message to go forth. I predict in the future that this is going to be one of my most watched videos, and I don't intend it to be, but I just really truly want this message to go out. Please know that I am only here for love and for truth, for no other reason. And my vibrations are rocking right now because I just juiced. Let me show you some things that I consume. I just juiced this, okay? Tell me that those enzymes are not going to rocket my vibrations to the stars, because that's exactly what they will. That's exactly what they will do. That's an apple, carrot, lemon, ginger, beet with a little turmeric and black pepper combined for the curcuminoids, and the rhizome of the turmeric will stay active in the body longer when they're fueled with the piperine and the black pepper. And so I put 2 drops of black pepper in that before I even began juicing. And I always start my juice glass with shungite stone. Shungite is the oldest known stone on the planet, and it releases what is called fullerenes into the liquid that it is contained within. This is an antihistaminic, anti-inflammatory water that this can create. This shungite, this is the noble or elite shungite. Ancient, fossilized plants, I believe, is what the shungite stone is. Nothing else like it in the known universe, so get familiar with that if you want to de-age your body. This video, we're going to discuss how to become younger, how we can become younger, and I'll tell you, I really began reversing a lot of the damage that was inflicted on my body from years and years of poisonous foods that I was consuming when I increased the amount of juices that I consumed. Please know that when you break the cell wall open, you're extracting only the phytonutrients out. These amino acids go right to work for the body. See, we have to separate the fiber from this so that our digestive system can get a complete break. To heal the body, you have got to give the digestive system a break. We're sitting down for a meal and having 5 or 6 non-enzyme compatible things in one sitting, and we're expecting our digestive system and stomach to sort all of this out. This is not being done. This food is literally putrefying in the gut. It's fermenting and putrefying, and the parasites are feeding off of this food. They're taking what few nutrients it is in it, and they're growing larger with this, and then they're expelling their own gas and flatulence inside you. You know, oftentimes people's gas will have a different odor, and it will be extremely foul, and this is because this is what the parasites inside you are emitting. When you alkalize the body, you detoxify the liver and the colon, you will no longer smell. When I converted to an all raw food diet lifestyle, I don't call it a diet, I don't like labels. So I don't consider myself a raw foodist or whatever. However people want to people want to label something vegan or raw foods or something like this. And I just want to tell people I consume live vibrational amino acids because that's the only thing that fuels the cells. All of this cooked food, all of this processed food, this is lowering our vibrations. And I'm going to read to you from one of my favorite authors. His name is Norman Walker. Dr. Norman W. Walker. He wrote multiple books, but he wrote one on becoming younger, okay? His tombstone said he lived to be about 99 years old. However, I've got it on good faith from a lady that worked directly for him that he lived until he was 104 years old, and I believe this lady. I'm hoping to get her to do an interview because she's still alive and she is still juicing. And she's in her 90s herself. And see, when you flood the cells with what the cells require, there really isn't much that you cannot do. And healing is going to be inevitable whenever you detoxify the liver and the colon and you just nourish the cells with what they need. And this is the reason why I am an advocate of juicing versus blending. Please know I like to blend too. I like to dehydrate my pulp from my juices with a chia paste that I've set overnight, and I will dehydrate these at or below 104 degrees, and this preserves the live enzymes in the food, in this pulp, this divine pulp. And then I season it, and then I dehydrate this, and I consume this throughout the day. I have salads, I have lots of raw, live, vibrational things. You know, somebody that's consuming all live foods is not going to be somebody that's suffering in any way, shape, or form. When I detoxified my body, I no longer crave the low vibrations, and I'm telling you this will happen for you too. I challenge you to press into the juicing if you want to change your life. And certainly don't listen to anybody on YouTube, even me, tell you what your body needs for functionality. What you need to do is you need to experiment with these things on your own. Because when you detoxify your body enough, your body will tell you what it needs. And an activated pineal gland is not going to be telling you that you need meat. It's not going to be telling you need cooked food. So, as big as the vegan movement is currently, and as happy as that makes me for people no longer killing for food, it's still acidic-forming, mucus-forming food. Most of this cooked food is completely enzyme deficient. No live vibrations in this food whatsoever. When you take a photograph using Kirlian photography of the lemon, this lemon is going to light up like the sun. The wild carrot. I mean, just look at this. I cut a purple carrot open, and that's the pigmentation that's in it. Tell me that's not going to rock your vibrations to the stars. The ginger with his gingerols. This is one of my favorite roots. I juice this more frequently than anything else. It's in all of my juices because it pretty much does everything that your body needs. You say, well, I don't like a lot of spicy things. Well, when you detoxify your body, you will begin to like some of the things that are so healing for you. I promise you this. I promise you this. Start a basic juice blend with the beet. Start with a fourth of the beet and then work up to the full beet with the beet greens. And this is going to help you to detoxify The liver, when you detoxify your liver enough, your other organs will follow suit. And we've got to clean out the sludge and the calcification, the putrefaction that's in the colon. I plan on doing many, many videos specifically on colon health, because I'm going to explain to you that every single nodule inside the colon is related to another part of your body. See, everything in our body is interconnected. Just like the picture back there of the flower of life. Imagine the pineal being at the top part of that and secreting down, and this energy pushes out. See, that's how it works. Let me read this passage to you. I'm excited about sharing this little passage with you. So let me just read this, and I'm probably going to end it with that. I don't know. I may interject or I may not. I'm going to try to keep it strictly to his words, because I challenge you to go out and get all of his books. If you want to become younger and you want to awaken, you're going to awaken to the information that he shares in these books. Chapter 8, when people do not know what my eating habits are and learn that I do not eat any meat, fish, fowl, they ask, where do you get your protein? I think this is one of the questions most frequently raised when the matter of vegetarians is discussed. It really shows how the vast lack of knowledge is concerning the rebuilding of cells and tissue in the body. It also proves that people have no conception of the effect that the digestion of concentrated protein such as meat has on the health and longevity of the individual. So important did this subject become that in the revised and enlarged edition of my book, Diet and Salad Suggestions, issued in 1947, I went quite fully into the matter of protein and amino acids. To avoid repeating 12 or 13 pages, I will appreciate you getting a copy of it and studying it, and I do too. Go get a copy of his book. Change your life. What I will say here is a merely supplements that material and will save you both the time and space necessary for its repetition. In the first place, the human body cannot utilize a complete protein, such as the meat of animals, fish, birds, as a complete product, but must break it down and disintegrate it into the atoms and molecules composing it. It then recombines such atoms as are necessary to build up the particular amino acids required at the moment, which may be entirely different for those in the meat that we eat. During this process of breaking down and disintegration, the digestive system is really working overtime, which results in the generation of excessive quantities of uric acid. This uric acid gets into the body as a matter of course and absorbed to great extent by the muscles. Sooner or later, the saturation point is reached in some of the muscles and the acid crystallizes, forming tiny uric acid crystals in the shape of microscopic, hard, sharp splinters. It is then that the real trouble begins, because the movement of these muscles causes tiny, sharp points to pierce the sheathing of the nerves, and the resulting torture that is labeled rheumatism, neuritis, and sciatica, arthritis, all of these various conditions I might add, they're all simply inflammation in the body. I had a very interesting experience in this subject as a result of an argument on this subject with a doctor friend and fellow student. One of his patients had developed anemia, and he had prescribed liver extract and a diet heavy with meat. As soon as he told me this, I forgot all my diplomacy and blurted out, "Ye God's man, she'll develop Bright's disease from the liver extract and neuritis or rheumatism from the meat." Needless to say, he ridiculed the very thought of it, as the patient's blood count was improving to his entire satisfaction. I asked him to keep a careful record on this case for at least 5 years, which he promised to do. In less than 3 years, rheumatic pains made their appearance, and the following year indications of Bright's disease, the breaking down of the kidneys, became manifest. Such proof, of course, was incontrovertible, as she was his patient and I had never seen her. However, he consented to experiment with the cleansings by enemas and colonics. He prescribed the diet which he worked out together to suit her environment and mode of living. He asked her to take the juice of a whole lemon in a glass of hot water immediately upon arising, the first thing in the morning, again in the middle of the day, and in the middle of the afternoon between meals. He urged her to drink as much fresh, raw vegetable juices every day as she could consume. She drank 1 to 2 pints of the combination of carrot, beet, and cucumber, a pint of carrot spinach, and when possible, a pint of carrot, celery, parsley, spinach juices in the proportions given in the formulas in the book, Raw Vegetable Juices, What's Missing in Your Body. Get that book too and read that. Old age is almost synonymous with weakness. As a matter of fact, we often hear people who do not have the strength to do something that is expected of them. Ask whether they are getting old. If you do not know it to be fact, you may be surprised to learn that starches and meat are the most weakening of our foods. The concept that meat is necessary for someone who does heavy or hard work has been utterly and completely exploded. Have you ever noticed how tired out people feel after eating a meal such as Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner? Instead of feeling strong and energetic and active, they usually want to sleep. And that's all most of them do. If meats and starches were energy-giving foods, such would not be the case. On the other hand, those of us who eat only raw vegetables and fruits and drink plenty of fresh vegetable juices get up from the dinner table always feeling better than we did before. Guests who join us at such meals are utterly amazed at their complete satisfaction and are amazed at finding themselves refreshed and energetic for hours after. This is what the live vibrational amino acids are going to do for you. They're going to give you so much energy. You're going to feel so much better. The body's going to begin to alkalize and detoxify. Oh yeah, the live vibrational amino acids are going to rock your world. Let me keep reading. The reason for this, on the other hand, those of us who eat only raw vegetables and fruits and drink plenty of vegetable juices, I just read that, sorry. The reason for this is very simple and logical. Party dinners consisting of meats and starches do not nourish the body. The food is not vital, live food. The live principle in the food has been destroyed by cooking, and the food merely serves as a filler, usually forming excessive volumes of uncomfortable gas. This is the reason why everybody has all this gas. Our raw food meals, on the other hand, are entirely vital, and they furnish the body with nourishment which gives us lasting strength and energy. It is sometimes remarked that vegetarians, as a rule, are not particularly good examples of health and vitality. The reason is that these people have merely eliminated meat, fish, and fowl from their diets, but they consume instead vast quantities of grains and starchy foods. Often they cook all or most of the vegetables and do not drink enough, if any, fresh vegetable juices. On such a diet, it is virtually impossible to have a healthy body constantly overflowing with energy and vitality, because the little starch nodules undermine their good intentions. Under the circumstances, it is not right to judge vegetarians as a class unless the classification is defined. Strict raw food vegetarians who drink plenty of fresh vegetable juices are almost always, without exception, outstanding individuals who are becoming younger every day. It's an interesting observation that even those who eat meat, take enemas or colonic irrigations, there is definitive odor putrefaction on their breath, be it ever so slight. This is inevitable because nearly all meat is tainted with the outpouring of excessive adrenaline from the animal's adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are little cap-like organs located on top of the kidneys. The adrenal that they secrete is so extremely powerful that the effect on the atomic bomb fades into insignificance when compared to this powerful substance. When a drop of adrenaline is secreted by the adrenal glands of the animal into the bloodstream, it is diluted instantly between 1 billionth and 2 billionth parts of its strength. This would compare to one single drop of ink spilled into 6 million gallons of water. If this proportion is greater than you can grasp, then figure that it compares to 1 mile between two post on a highway as compared to the distance covered by 5,000 trips to the moon and back again. You must now understand how powerful a poison adrenaline is when it gets out of control. Whenever we are angry or filled with fear, this gland becomes more active than normal and more adrenaline flows into the blood depending on the degree of fear and anger. By the way, I'll interject there, this is also when your vibrations begin to become lower. When your mind is constantly in fear and doubt and worry and confusion, this lowers your vibrations. Thought carries vibration. I mean, the entire universe operates on frequency and vibration. You need to take your shoes off and go and get connected to the earth. You need to gaze upon the sun, and you need to consume raw, live, vibrational amino acids. This is how you heal your condition and decalcify your pineal gland. Get familiar with all of the divine phytonutrients that Mother Nature provides, because she provides a wide array of blissful healing phytonutrients. I'll continue reading now. When an animal is led to be slaughtered, he is filled with terror, just as any human being would be in its place. Its adrenals pour out so much adrenaline that the animal's body becomes tainted with it. Also, within a few minutes after death occurs, every cell and tissue in the animal's body begins to disintegrate. The eating of flesh is a custom handed down to this generation from thousands of years of practice that has no foundation or reason or excuse. Man's taste for the flesh of animals has become accustomed, and without attempting to reason whether its use is constructive or destructive, he likes it, he wants it, he eats it, and he eventually may suffer the penalty for doing so. He will. I'll interject. You consume all of this meat and you do all of this killing, you will suffer. In all of my experience, I have never found one individual who had lived on raw, fresh vegetables, fruits, and juices and used an intelligent amount of fresh vegetables and fruit juices for periods of 5 or 10 years or more, who during that period have ever suffered with any of the ailments caused by the accumulation of uric acid in the body. On the other hand, every case without exception that I've had contact with, where I've been able to check the person's diet, where the individual suffered rheumatism, neuritis, sciatica, meat was invariably a part of the diet. I therefore concluded long ago that if I wanted to become younger and had been in the habit of eating meat, I would not eat it anymore. Of course, I am not urging or advising that everyone eating or living habits be changed. Each has the right to eat and live as he chooses. All I can do is point the way. That's all I can do as well. I can light the path. Personally, I've had to learn the hard way, as did I, and most of us have to do just that. I am never satisfied with anybody's experiments, experience, or advice until and unless I've tried it myself and proved it to my own satisfaction. Then I know that I am right. What anyone else thinks does not concern me, so as long as I know the truth sets me free. Here now, Dr. Norman Walker. He spoke some truth there, especially towards the end of that. Let me read a passage from his book titled Diet and Salad, The Vegetarian Guide to Diet and Salad. This is on page 54, and then I'm going to end it with this. Aesthetically and morally, the killing of animals, birds, and fish, cooking the flesh, and eating the meat is not what nature intended as nourishment for the human body. The life of such animals is placed by the Supreme Creator, who placed a similar life within us. It is not our right, function, or scope to deprive any animal of its natural life, any more than it is to deprive a human being of his life. In the matter of vibrations, the killing of animals, whether for sport or as business, lowers the human vibrations several octaves. Eating their flesh lowers them even further and automatically brings these down to a level of the vibrations of animals. For example, the lower passions, alcoholic tendencies, nicotine habits, and the general inhibitions is definitely apparent in relation to the amount of meat consumed. Conversely, as meat disappears from the diet, better health, better and cleaner habits, greater understanding, more energy, vigor, and vitality, and a broader intellect are the natural sequence. Physiologically, the eating of meat increases the acidity of the body. In the process of digestion and the breakdown of meat into its original amino acids, a vast amount of uric acid is generated by the body. If the body could eliminate this, it might only do a little harm. But what actually happens is that the muscles absorb enormous amounts of this uric acid, and in the course of time they are saturated with it. Eventually this acid forms into crystals with sharp needle-like points which cause the pain and discomfort known as rheumatism, neuritis, sciatica, nephritis, Bright's disease, or some diseases of the liver. In the course of our researches, we have made thousands of analyses of urine. Without exception, found that urea present in the urine of meat eaters was only 1/10 to 1/5 of what should be completely eliminated, indicating that the muscles were absorbing from 5 to 10 times what the body should eliminate through the kidneys. If for no other reason, we would refrain from eating meat or meat products because of our desire to avoid the aches and ailments resulting sooner or later from the accumulation of uric acid in the system. You say, well, I only eat raw meat. I'm a paleo. Well, you're still killing for your food. This is still food that's lowering your vibrations, because the last thing that animal secretes before that animal is slaughtered is fear. This taints the meat. It's going to lower your vibrations. All of this meat that people are consuming is keeping souls in a hypnotic trance. And by the way, there will be no ascension through the silver lining for all of these low vibrations that you poison your temple with. You've got to learn to put high vibrations in the temple if you want to resonate out high vibrations. We've got to wake up. We have to regress from where we came from, and we have to know where we're going to, because the highest vibration is love. We came from love, and we need to tap into this divine, blissful energy that is ever so abundant currently. You feel this energy when you take your shoes off and you connect with the soil. You know, the Schumann resonance and frequency used to be 7.83 hertz. This was the vibration, the of the earth. Now this is on up to 16 at some points. Did you know this? Are you awake to this? No, see, we're tuned into all of the stuff currently that we shouldn't be tuned into. You're watching news and television, this lie vision. This vision is going to tell you a lie. This is programming and keeping souls in a trance. They're disconnected from what they need to be connected to, and they're connected to everything that they don't need to be connected to, that's in essence lowering the vibrations. When you're always connected to your devices and you literally sleep next to these things, please understand that this is affecting this auric field that resonates out from the temple. This poisons and it lowers the vibrations. You've got to learn to collectively increase your vibrations, and then you also have to learn how to protect the vibrations, and that's what this channel is going to be about. It's about protecting the vibrations and increasing the vibrations. I'm going to do a part 2 on this pretty soon, and this will definitely block you from some of the extremely low frequencies, these electromagnetic frequencies that are harming the auric field around the body. I just did garlic, so watch my, if you would just start consuming more of this, you would effectively raise your vibrations. There's not that much that this doesn't do. Most people say that they do not like this because of the way it makes them smell, and I'm going to tell you, you've got a toxicity issue within your body, because when you go all raw and consume live amino acids, this is not going to have any more of effect than any of the other phytonutrients are. I eat garlic all day long, and I don't smell like garlic. I will just tell you that. And by the way, my sweat no longer stinks. My sweat was very, very foul for years and years, even while I was just vegetarian. And when I went all raw is really when I stepped up the detoxification, and I was able to eliminate the years and years and layers of sludge that was on my colon. I detoxified my liver, and this is really when my vibrations started to increase. I started benefiting from essential oils. Please know that essential oils have a very divine, small, intelligent, molecular size. They literally have a divine intelligence. They cross the blood-brain barrier fast, and they work to increase the vibration. So this channel is an advocate of education about essential oils. I'm also going to go through a whole series on mushrooms, so please stay tuned for that. In the meantime, get your juice on. Don't listen to anybody else telling you that you need meat or you need low vibrations to increase your vibrations, because this is some serious pseudoscience nonsense that's being spread regarding this. From souls lost up in a hypnotic trance, no ascension through the silver lining is going to be possible through all of these low vibrations they're consuming. So don't listen to this nonsense. Tune it out. Have a great day. Peace, love, and positive vibrations. Get your juice on. Start increasing your vibrations. I challenge you to do this. You're going to feel better when you do this. Just start juicing. Get a fully masticating juicer and start juicing. Break that cell wall open and extract those divine phytonutrients. They're going to go right to work for your body. I know of no one that juices 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day that just doesn't have an abundance of energy and just feel blissful all day long. These juices are going to balance your hormone levels in your body. This is what we need to do. We need to balance the cortisol, the hormone levels in the body. The pineal needs to be secreting melatonin, which gets converted into serotonin. The pineal will also secrete DMT. Please know this. So many divine things are possible when you really detoxify and alkalize and activate the pineal gland. Have a great day. I am grateful to you all. Stay tuned because many divine things are coming up.